Yeah, so when you guys are listening to this, we're actually going to be on our way home from Miami. So Friday's episode of Candidly with Coffee is going to be the Miami recap. So we'll have already come back. We're going to record a recap, and we're going to give you guys all of the lowdown, showdown. But tomorrow, my Tuesday vlog will be up, and my Tuesday vlog is going to be the Miami vlog. So you guys will get to enjoy the Miami vlog. Might need to be 2 parts, but part 1 will be tomorrow.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool, man. We get to film down there, content, show what we're doing. Back to our old kind of like, I wouldn't say stomping grounds, but it's kind of, we've been there quite a few times, you know? It's gonna be fun.
It's very us.
Yeah, it is us.
Yeah.
We're manifesting it, you guys. We might be moving to Miami someday.
Yeah, so we're taking this episode, you guys. This episode today is back to the old school Candidly with Coffee vibes. I have no rundown. No, I'm not prepared. Nothing. I've been crazy. I'll be honest with you guys. Now, by the time you guys are listening to this, my challenge is off and running. But as of right now is when I'm in the process of doing macro assessments and assigning programs and reading through consultations and
man. Lots of one-on-one client signups.
Yeah, it's been a lot, and so because of that, I'm not prepared for like a full-blown episode. But I thought, you know what? Every once in a while, I think it's important for us to kind of get back to our roots a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that. We used to wing it all the time, and we're talkers. We could just talk about things.
Yeah, we can just talk about things. And I've had so many things lately. So I've had a lot of conversations lately. A lot of people inquiring about my coaching program. But I will say, oh yeah, there is someone here. Yeah. I don't know. But I will say, I got the most, this will be a hold my coffee. I got the most annoying hold my coffee. Someone asked me questions about my program. Like, hey, so what's a one-on-one coaching program? What does it entail? What is it? What is it? What do I get? Blah, blah, blah. And then she had the nerve to say, so is this for free or what?
People have some kind of nerve or arrogance thinking like we work for free, or people on the internet or whatever you want to call it, online coaches should work for free. But it's like, I ask them, like, do you work for free? Do you tell your employer, like, hey, today, boss, I'm not going to punch the clock. I'm going to give you a free day of my time. So in exchange for our time, we look to get paid, correct? This is how bills are not free.
It like literally boggles my mind that somebody would think that a stranger to them on the internet owes them some sort of anything for free.
For free. Like my education wasn't free. My time taking the courses wasn't free.
And you know what? To be honest, I don't feel bad at all because we do. Listen, you guys are listening right now for free. We give you a lot of ourselves.
We do. We give you a lot of tips, advice. There's a lot of stuff we don't hold back. A lot of coaches ain't going to give you what we give you. They're not going to show you the meals that they're making and weighing and tracking. Hell no. Go find me one. To this day, I know all the biggest coaches online. None of them showing what they're making because they don't want to give that information.
No, they don't share. A lot of people, they're vague about it.
They're very vague. They don't want you.
They don't give actual like macros or this is how you do it.
No.
They're hacks.
Zero. Nothing. We do. But you still need coaching. Even though you know all that, you still need accountability. You still need to learn.
Oh my gosh. No, one thing I know, it doesn't matter. Whatever we do show, there's one thing that's for sure. One thing is there is just a huge disconnect on what people think they know about weight loss and what they truly do not know. And I get that even reading through these consultation forms that I'm going through right now for my challenge. Most people will say like, I'm eating healthy and I'm working out, but it's just I can't get the weight to budge. It's got to be something wrong. And I'm like, just let me do my thing.
They're not. So listen, people have this idea of they're eating healthy. Like, explain to me eating healthy. Mm-hmm. I want to know what you're eating. What's so healthy about what you're eating? Mm-hmm. And not to be mean or a dickhead, but I look at them, especially with men. Men have probably way more arrogant than women. Oh, I know how to eat dog. I know how to eat healthy. I'm eating good. Well, I'm looking at you, homie. You have a gut, and you look like you don't know what you're doing. If I'm being honest, so what? Because you went to Whole Foods and bought Whole Foods, you're eating healthy. The assumptions out there, they're ass backwards. They're way off.
Yeah, or or just if you're not where you want to be, and things are not changing, then what you are doing, regardless of what you think you know, what you are doing is not working. Because if it were working, then you would be where you want to be.
Exactly.
So if you know what to do, then you would be where you want to be.
Bingo.
If you know how to execute it consistently and deal with the demons and whatever else you might be going on and stay accountable, if you knew how to do all of those things, you would be where you want to be. But you're not, because you don't know how to do something. You're missing something. And you have to leave your ego at the door, because sometimes people will even hire a coach and still not leave their ego at the door.
No, they won't.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, well, I already know how to do this and that and this. What I ask actually of clients is, regardless of what you think you know, what you do know, your experience, you hired me for a reason.
Yes.
So let me do what I do and put that in a box and put it aside. And let's just forget about that, what you think you know right now. And let me work my magic, because I know my magic works, but it's not going to work if you keep trying to dig into that box that you think you know of all these things. Oh, well, I did this because I thought that, and I did this because No, we're going to put that shit in the box, and you're not going to worry about that because it hasn't worked for you thus far. And now you have paid me. So let me do what I do.
Time to unlearn all the bullshit that you picked up along the way. I think you know. And also another tip or advice. Whenever you start your journey, and let's just say you do start having success, listen, there's always the, what do we call those guys in the back? The, God, I lost my chin. When you sit in the back of the classroom, what did I tell you that the teacher called us?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, God, why am I drawing a goddamn blank? I hate this. Anyways.
The peanut gallery?
The peanut gallery. Don't listen to the peanut gallery and their advice. I'm telling you right now, because there's always the peanut gallery. There's always somebody that thinks they know or they have this expert advice. But listen, they're not in a position to give you any advice. They're not a coach. They have no education in the space. They've never coached anybody. And also, look at them. And do they look like the pillar of health? I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? Like, just like our, somebody told me, go Google the lady who's like in charge of our health for the United States, who's supposed to be.
Oh, like the Surgeon General or something?
But something like that. I don't know her position. I'm drawing a blank right now. She looks atrocious and overweight and obese looking. But she's supposed to be like the Department of Health, the head lady or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, somebody told me to
go
go
World
Google
Health
her.
Organization or something?
Not for the United States. Not for the world. Yeah, I forgot her name. But yeah, they're like, go Google her. I'm like, of course.
And that is unreal.
You're supposed to be guiding us Americans to eat better, but you look like that? No. So yeah, the peanut gallery always comes out. So block that noise out.
Yeah, and you know what my thing is, like, did you know that like there's so many things that we could acquire, diseases and things like that that can happen that are out of our control. But there's so many that are within our control.
Yeah. And
most people, they stop or they don't focus on the ones that are within their control. They're so worried about the ones that they can't control.
Always.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know. I had this weird wave of like almost like a grief or something that came over me in my car. It's so weird how grief works, because I was thinking about my mom and like her last moments. And why was I thinking that so randomly on the way home from Orange Theory this morning? But I was thinking about like her last moments, and I was thinking like, oh, gosh, I wonder what was going through her head. Like, gosh, like my time on this earth is over.
Right.
You know?
I know, right?
I literally was thinking about that. Like, I wonder what was going through her head. And it was so awful watching her go through that. And I just thought to myself, man, I want to be here as long as I can. I want to live. I want to do everything within my control to live as long as I can, to spare my kids that pain for as long as possible. I want them to be old already.
Yeah.
When they lose me.
You know, it's funny that mindset you have, that way of thinking. Why don't more people think that way? They're
That's
like,
what I was
this
thinking.
is what I say this day. Everybody's on a race to the grave. They're in absolute fucking denial. Like, have you looked at yourself, man? Look at yourself. Like, really take a long, hard look at you in the mirror. You think you're going to be here long? You think, oh, my blood work came back healthy, but I'm 300 pounds. You think
no, but even think about this. It's even worse than that. Even worse than that. So say at least the person that their blood work came back healthy, they have a false sense of hope.
Yes.
But what about the people that truly they're inflicted with metabolic disease?
Yes.
But they continue to eat like shit, not exercise, and they already have type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
They already are obese.
You're right.
Their numbers are already skewed. They've already been told by their doctor, you are at risk of a heart attack, but they ignore it anyway. Those are the ones that really boggle my mind.
I know. And some of them continue drinking and smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Do you not care? You're only here once. It's over for you. You don't care about your children, if you fathers or mothers. You don't care like to live long for them.
Like maybe they need to have that experience like I had. Like, you know how I talk about how people make everyone has to have a moment that's a pivotal turning point that flips the switch for them.
Yes.
And maybe for me, it's not that the switch flipped then, because my switch has been on for years and years, but for different reasons. But my switch flipped for longevity. When my mom passed away.
Yeah.
And watching that process was so traumatic.
Of course. You saw her take her last breath.
And
you saw the life leave her body. You know what I'm saying?
It's so traumatic. And knowing that her demise at that age, 74, was self-inflicted.
Look at my mother, 65. Diabetes, type 2. They told her for many years, get it under control, get your diet in control. Did she? Nope. She didn't care. I used to get on her. What was me getting on her doing? Nothing. She just didn't have any clue. They didn't help her how to eat better. She just said, F it. I'm going to go out my way, and went out her way. And it breaks my heart because that's young. You know, had I know what I know now, then I could have helped her a lot more.
She would be how old right now?
This is be her 10-year anniversary, so she would be going on 75. 65,
still young. Yeah.
75, yeah. 75 years old.
That's crazy. She
and my
would
father's still here.
Be young.
My father has outlived her by what, nine, almost 10 years.
Be 10 years in October.
Yeah. Because he chose to live. And I used to ask him, like, after she passed, like, do you want to stay here? You want to live? Because you know how some people, when their love partner passes, they go immediately. They do. Heartbreak. They just don't want to live. But no, my dad's like, nope. He even told my brother not too long ago, like, I want to live to my 80s. And this is a stroke victim survivor. A stroke. You know what I'm saying? He's still going strong. He still walks to the senior center, you know, hobbling on his walker.
He has quality of life.
Yeah. And I was going to post a video up where after he got out of the hospital, remember we had that episode? And he's holding on to like the his dresser and they have him doing squats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here you guys are able-bodied.
Yeah.
Weak, lazy ass minded people. And here my father is broken down and he's still trying to get his body strong so he can live longer.
Yeah.
Weak ass people. You know what I'm saying? They're able bodied.
So that's what just boggles my mind, honestly. Like, you have to stop and think, like, wouldn't that be just a waste if you, and it's almost a slap in the face for people that get diseases that they can't control.
Yes.
You know, like my brother, he couldn't control that. That wasn't self-inflicted for him to have cancer at 12. That was not something that he didn't eat right and he didn't exercise, so he got that. But he got that, right? And he does everything in his power to live as long as he can, despite his health problems, because he wants to be here as long as possible for his daughters.
Yep.
So although he was given the bad deck of cards, right, and not self-inflicted disease, he's doing everything he can to not, die an early death.
Because he wants to see his daughters grow up. He told me his goal is at least see them graduate high school. I'm like, no, think harder than that. Think you want to be here till your old man on earth, till your time is done. Don't think just think you're going to be here. Tell yourself that. The mind is powerful.
But, it's respectable and commendable that he's doing that. That's why, to me, it's like if there's one group of people like you've been told you have serious problems. You've been told stop smoking, stop drinking, exercise, get the body fat off. Yeah. Stop fixating on the plugging holes too, because you'll have someone that has like, okay, I have type 2 diabetes, so I'm just like, I'm not going to eat sugar.
You always want to blame sugar. I like sugar's the enemy. Let's talk to my boy this morning. I was helping him out, and he's like, yeah, sugars and everything. What do you do about your sweet tooth? Boom, boom. I gave him tips and hacks what to do. That's what you do, man. You got to change your mind frame. You can eat sweet things. I said, go invest in an Ninja Cream and make protein ice cream like my wife does.
If you're monitoring your calorie intake, you're not going to overeat the sweet things.
No.
So you're not going to overconsume them. because you are limiting your calorie intake. You're utilizing a lot of those calories in the form of protein. It doesn't leave a lot of calories left for sugar. So you don't overconsume sugar. Get your body fat down. What I always tell people is, look, stop fixating on plugging holes. Just work on getting to a healthy body weight. Then see what's left. See what you have to focus on. Chances are that's enough. That's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to lower your A1C. It's going to, you're going to wipe out your diabetes. It's going to fix a lot of things just by doing that. Instead of plugging holes, they want to plug holes. Oh, I'm just not going to eat bread.
Oh, yeah, he said that too. He said bread and other stuff. Like, dude, listen, bread, pasta, potatoes, rice are not the enemy, man. You can eat it. You know what I'm saying? You guys got it all wrong. You need to unlearn this bullshit you guys learned when you're younger. Or in recent history, talking about this is bad for you, carbs in general. No, they're not. They're not bad for you. Overconsumption of anything's bad for you. Mm-hmm. You can gain weight eating too much protein. Mm-hmm. You don't think people on carnivore gain weight because they think, oh, no carbs, I'm just gonna go crazy. Keto. I started kind of gaining weight on keto at first. Did you adjusted my my intake on it? I was eating too much fat. Fat's very high in calories.
Yeah, I did that interview recently with an online coach where. You guys saw that it was a couple of episodes ago, but she gained 50 pounds on the keto diet. She said she woke up one day. I was like, what the hell happened? And she's a coach. She is she's a nutritionist. She's got a bachelor's degree in dietetics. Like, this woman knows what she's doing. And she even gained weight on keto.
She slipped.
She had issues with her cortisol and her, adrenals and lots of issues, but it can happen even without any. She was not eating carbs and gained 50 pounds eating carbs.
That's the assumption. Somebody said that to me on a DM, talking about, oh, I'm just not hardly eating any carbs. I'm like, that's not the answer, man. You're not fixing the problem. That's not the solution to your problem. Mm-hmm. It's not the carbs. You need carbs to survive. You need energy. You don't have to cut them out. You just need to learn how to eat balanced. You need to learn macros and tracking. It's very important.
Yeah. Balanced. Balance is where it's at.
Balance.
You have to remember, the minute that you completely omit something, there's something of value that you are going to lose from that something. That now the people that ate, took carbs out, right? What happened? They didn't have enough fiber. Or carnivore, no fiber.
Exactly.
Leading to digestive problems and all of that. So if you eliminate an entire food group, you're going to create some sort of problem somewhere else that you have to account for in some way, whether it's supplementation or whatever. But you have to think, okay, if I am not going to eat this, as a result, what am I going to be missing in my diet? When you have a balanced diet, it's just easier because you're getting a little bit of everything. So chances are you're getting a nice wide macronutrient profile. So you're not going to be deficient in any one particular vitamin, or the minute you eliminate something, all of a sudden you become vitamin D deficient because you stopped eating red meat. Any little thing I don't eat red meat because my doctor told me I have, high cholesterol, whatever. So then you stop eating red meat, and then all of a sudden you're vitamin D deficient, you're iron deficient. You know what I mean? You create another problem.
That's so true. So true. That's funny. You're right about that. Hey, remember that one diet though? Not to get off topic, but it's dead. You don't hear about it too much anymore. I think they're still in business, though. They sell bars and those stuff. It's the Atkins diet. Remember how popular that was?
Well, it was like a keto.
It was like a keto, right? Mm-hmm. Was it high, just all protein? I never did it.
It wasn't. It was just no carbs or something like that.
Zero carbs, yeah.
I never did that. No, I never did it. But I remember my sister's husband, he did it. And he was so skinny fat. He got so skinny fat. He lost 20 pounds, but he was just all bones.
Loose skin.
And loose skin. Mm-hmm. But I remember she would make him this big thing of Jell-O.
Yeah.
And that's what he would eat, Jell-O. Oh. He would just eat Jell-O.
Everybody that did keto, they did have temporary success, and they all gained it back and then some. My cousin did keto. Keto. Atkins, sorry.
Oh, Atkins, yeah.
My cousin did Atkins.
Yeah.
Didn't save her from a stroke.
Listen, the diets, all different types of diet, they're all just the same freaking a road to a calorie deficit or whatever. You got to do what works best for you and find something that works for you. But our approach is balanced.
Balanced.
So if you work with us,
realistic eating.
It's about sustainability.
Yep.
Flexibility, balance, loving the process, falling in love with the lifestyle. Because what's the point? Because I have been where I've gotten thin before, like really thin, but was miserable. Like it was miserable to get there, and it was going to be miserable to stay there. But I was skinny. You know what I mean? Like that's no fun.
No.
What's the point of
you weren't enjoying yourself?
Like if you were like you had like this body you created, right? But you were absolutely miserable, you wouldn't even be able to enjoy having the nice body.
No. Like I had success with keto. Remember I tell you that? But I restricted myself.
Yeah.
It's too restrictive. I didn't like that part.
Yeah, you weren't happy with that.
No, it's too restrictive. That's why.
Yeah.
So when you taught me macros and tracking, much better. I'm enjoying my body and I'm sustaining it. I'm not like, oh, this is brutal. This sucks. I gotta starve, or I have to neglect this or take that out, or too rigid. No, it doesn't work. It's realistic eating, man. I love it. I'm hooked on it. It's crazy. And the people that I show and train and coach, they love it too, because they're like, wow, I could eat that. Like, yes, you can eat that. Mm-hmm. They're blown away
because it improves your relationship with food.
Yep.
And it gives you, and this is why I like to say no rigid rules. I'm not saying that you're going to eat junk food all day.
No.
Because when you are given boundaries and parameters with macros, you start to make better decisions because you want to spend more wisely. Like I can, if I wanted to, go have a 500 calorie pastry at Starbucks and still make it work. But if I go have a 500 calorie pastry at Starbucks, that's a lot of calories wasted with not a lot of protein. It means the rest of my day is going to be kind of like lackluster.
Yeah.
I rather have a delicious, big, high volume filling 500 calorie meal than the pastry. But I like to know that if I wanted the pastry, I could have it.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe sometimes, once in a while, I will make that choice. But most of the time, I do not, because you learn to spend more wisely. But I don't have some coach telling me, oh, you can't eat that at Starbucks, because I can if I want to. You know what I mean? And I tell my clients, you can if you want to, but you're going to have to make up for it here and there. And you're going to have like a high protein meal. You're going to have to, you have to make up for it, but you can still do it. It's food freedom.
Yeah, I did that the other day, a few weeks back in the morning. You probably saw it. I posted a donut on my stories to show people, look, I'm having a big chocolate bar donut with cream in the middle. I made it work though, because I know how to make up for it on pro. Obviously, I have more calories than you do. Yeah. So I made it just to show people, look, this is the freedom. I wanted it. I was craving it, had it, and that's it. Moved on from it. No guilty feeling. No, oh, I messed up. Nope. And still dropped weight. Mm-hmm. Made it work.
Because if you make it work, yeah. And then you just have to make up for it on the back end, right? So like in the evening, probably ran out of calories or whatever. Be like, oh yeah, I rather have had like a breakfast instead of that. Maybe, so you wouldn't want to make that decision all the time.
No. That was just to show, it's just one of those things,
That's what I'm saying though. And that's why when I say no rules or whatever, and then just, that means I can eat this and this and this every day. I'm like, well, you'll see that as you go through the process, you won't do that.
You won't. You'll spend your money wisely.
Because you'll know, like, shoot, on the day that I ate that chocolate donut, I was so hungry that day. I'm so much more satisfied when I start my day with blah, blah, blah. You'll just start to make better decisions, but it's part of the process. And you have to go through that process. And that's all part of just changing your whole idea around eating and food and all of that.
Listen, guys get intimidated for some reason or another by words. What these calories, macros, protein, forget all that. Think about this. Your body is your vessel. Your body's your company. You have this much money to spend on yourself. Calories is just money for your body. That's all it is. It's numbers. And then return on investment is protein. Once you figure that out, and you unlock that and you change your mindset, it's nothing. It's not as hard as you guys make it seem. You guys make it harder than what it is. It's really kids play. It's funny. We laugh about it. We don't make fun of you guys, but we laugh as coaches how easy this is. That people really just took the time to learn it it's kids play. It's not that hard. It's just like learning ABCs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get it down.
Yeah, but then there's the people that they subscribe to the actual tasks. They're like, I got the macros, I know what I need to do, the steps, you got the blueprint basically. But then, and they're enjoying it and they like what they eat. But regardless of all of that, they still tend to sabotage themselves.
Yeah.
That's when you got to dig a little deeper. That's when it's beyond the blueprint.
Oh, it's beyond. It's internal. They need to fix something going on. They're eating their emotions away.
Yeah.
Or they're using, get over your past traumas, you guys. One way or another, you got to let that shit go.
Yeah.
You got to stop holding on to it and stop feeding it. You feel like you need to feed your past trauma. When does food become, you're supposed to just feed your...
Yeah, we talked about that in a couple episodes ago, like letting shit go.
Yeah.
But for us as coaches, what we have to do is we try to then identify like where it is that you tend to falter. And then we have to dig a little deeper and ask the questions like, why is this? What's leading into this? Because if you do not address why you continue to do something, it's going to keep happening. Yeah.
Or you'll have success and you'll be happy and then you'll celebrate that success with food. That's a no-no. You go backwards.
Yeah. And so maybe that is, for some people, that might be their thing. Every time they had success, then they celebrate. So you have to find, that's an easy fix, because for women, if it's a reward, because you're looking for the pleasure system, it's like how our brain works. It's like you want to reward yourself. Well, that's fine. You just swap out your reward. What else is going to trigger that pleasure system in the brain besides food? Maybe for women, some women, it's makeup. New pair of shoes, a workout outfit, treating yourself to a spa day, something like that. So that's an easy fix, actually. But the important thing is identifying it. The problem is a lot of people don't stop long enough to identify these behaviors, but that's why you have the benefit when you work with a coach. That's my job, is to figure it out. Like, you know what? I noticed that every time this happens, and let's dig into that a little bit, and then we can figure it out, and we come up with a game plan, and it's trial and error, and we see if we can make it work. A lot of times people try to wipe out habits. They try to, you've created these habits for many years, and you try to just be like, oh, I'm just not going to do that anymore. But the way the brain works is you actually have to replace it with just a positive habit. You can't really eradicate the habit. You just got to put something else in there.
That's true. You got to put something in its place. You're right, because we created those habits, and it's hard to break those habits. It's a battle. It's an everyday battle with everybody, and no one's exempt from it. Not even us.
Yeah. So can you think about, maybe for yourself, if there had been a habit that you had regarding food? Like you've said before, you're an emotional eater. So
yeah, when I've gone through stuff like death, for some reason I tend to overeat.
Now, how do you think now? What do you think would be different, and what would you do instead of turning to food to deal with your emotions?
What would I do now? Just keep myself occupied. Probably go get a workout in, go walk. And now that I know macros and all that, I'll be on point, like tracking my stuff. And if I have to use, what we use to fast, I'll do that in order not to overeat. Because I was just stuffing my face with no regard. But now that I'm aware that I have that, like I'm aware where I'm not going to allow it to happen now. Mentally, like, nope, I'm not going to go down that same path.
Yeah, I think knowing it's coming too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I know, like, oh, shoot, I know that because this situation's happening, I'm going to have a hard time staying on track.
Yes.
And so you got to kind of get in front of it.
You do. So I'll give you an example. After my stroke, you thought I might get down or depressed or just take my foot off the gas and get comfortable and start eating again. We enjoyed ourselves for like a day or so. But hell no, I jumped right back on track. Because like, no. I did all this hard work just to like go backwards. I'm not going to do that. So I stayed on point. And that's not an easy thing to do. No. I wasn't very active. I was pretty much couch rotten because I had to rest for 2 weeks, but I stayed on point. I kept tracking and didn't use that as an excuse. Where a lot of people use that as an excuse. I could have used that as an excuse. Like, poor little old me, woe me. Hell no. I said, nope, I'm going to stay on track. I'm not going to let myself get fat and out of shape. I was already going to get a little out of shape because no gym for 2 weeks. And my mind wasn't all the way back yet. I was still healing. But no, I stayed on track, kept myself on track, and I'm proud of myself. I didn't give in or break.
Yeah. For me, I know And now I get in front of it when this happens. If I'm going to be really busy or I have some crazy schedule or some like things that are out of my routine going on, my workouts suffer.
Yeah.
I know this about myself. So what I've done, like I just did that this week because I knew I have podcast interviews and we're planning on a trip. I have to get everything I have so much extra things on my already busy plate, my challenge, all of that. So I knew, like, you know what? My workouts are going to suffer if I don't get in front of it. So what did I do this week? I pre-booked Orange Theory because when in doubt, when I know that my mindset is not going to be on getting in a good workout on my own, I'm going to slack, I'm going to cut it short or whatever, then I'm like, oop, okay, I got to go to what works because it worked for me when my mom died. It's worked for me during very stressful times in my life. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to pre-book my Orange Theory workouts and I'm just going to do that. That way I'm guaranteed a good workout.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think about it. I'm held accountable to the schedule.
That's smart.
And that's what I did. So this week I knew, I'm like, I'm not going to make it to the gym, like to do my own work. I know it. I'm going to cut myself short because I have too much things on my mind.
You can't focus and laser in on your workout and know exactly.
No.
And basically what you're saying is you can't bust your ass down like you want to. Knowing Orange Theory, they're going to bust you down.
They will. And it will be out of my control. I know they will.
That's smart.
So I did it. I got in my calendar and I booked it out. Like, so I'm going to more Orange Theory classes this week than I normally would because I knew. And I was right because I am.
That's why we haven't gone to the gym together. That's okay though. That's smart. So if you guys are listening to this, take that tip, like what she's saying, like maybe take some classes or do something to keep your mind occupied.
I've had that with my clients as well. And so even for my one-on-one clients or my challenge clients, hold yourself accountable, make promises to yourself, schedule your workouts. You can go right into our app. So our new app, you can go in there and schedule in your workouts. So say you're not an Orange Theory member, that's fine. You could schedule your workouts, schedule whatever it is, your activity in there, and it will add it to your to-do list for the day. So say you schedule a workout for Friday. Come Friday, it's going to glare at you when you look at your app. And it's going to say, and that's going to be a reminder of a promise you made to yourself. So for me, Orange Theory goes onto my calendar. I put it in my calendar and it's there. And I know. And then if I don't go, I'm held accountable to paying a $15 no-show fee or whatever.
That's good.
But I did that. And they have, I was telling you, they have, because it's like, I don't want to do all cardio. That's not the point. But my Orange Theory just added strength classes. So the entire class is weights.
That's
so
smart.
tomorrow is my upper body. Then Friday is my lower body.
There you go.
And I'm like, this is perfect because right now I'm just, I haven't gone with you to the gym.
No, that's okay. And today I kept myself occupied as well. Went to the gym for many hours. Get my mind off of things. You know what?
Yeah, you're crazy. I went to the gym for many hours. Who does this?
3 hours. I was just cruising, having fun, enjoying myself in there. This is what I tell people with the gym too, is like, remember when we were little kids, you guys, and you go to the playground and there's so many like different little things you could play on the playground, swings or this and that. And you're just aimlessly playing, you're having fun. Do the same thing with the gym. Like think about like, okay, what I want to work on today. All right, play around with different machines, have fun with it. Don't stress yourself out. Enjoy it. I enjoy myself while I was there,
I'm envious of the joy that you get from the gym.
I do. I love the pump. I love the stimulation. When in doubt, if I'm tired and I don't feel as strong, I just lighten the weight and go high reps. And I rest less, make it harder. Not a hit style, but just like back-to-back sets.
Like circuit.
It gets me like stimulated. Yeah, it gets me sweat going. It gets my blood going. Feels good.
And where did you go? City Sports?
Yeah, the one right here off of New Hall. And originally I was just going to go do shoulders and traps and then go home. But I said, fuck it, I'm going to do chest and triceps. It's like I did 2 workouts in one. Felt good. Killed the day,
Yeah.
Calmed the hunger monster down.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. We are going to be back to our regular Candidly with Coffee episodes on Friday. You guys are going to want to tune in because you're going to get the full Miami recap, and we'll just kind of like regroup and get where we're at. Maybe have some Hold My Coffees by then. Definitely have Comment Corner and all that good stuff. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. And if you're a Patreon, then head over to the after show.